Hey guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all my friends and folks out there. I hope that you're having an amazing Friday or whatever day you decide to watch this. Now, I'm sorry that I didn't do a Hope Love show to do shoutouts for like last week, but in all honesty, I have been trying to figure out everything I was going to do, and it takes time to figure out what I'm going to do for a channel, like it does for everyone. So took a moment, but once I figured it out, I figured it out. Anyway, today we're going to be doing a review of my prints, and then obviously be doing shout outs. So let's get into it. Okay, so my prints is a Voltron fanfic, particularly a Klance fanfiction, and it is really, really good. It's made by hostral_Ustrel. Right now, it is in revisions, and I don't know if it's going to change that much. But from when I went back, because I did write this, I did read this when it was fully written, and there were no revisions. Like, the revisions were always, like, 2 chapters behind where I was at. But when I look back, it wasn't really different, just a little bit of different wording. So I believe it won't be too much different when you guys out there, all of y'all, go and read it. I mean, it shouldn't have changed that much. Now, obviously, they could continue it, they could not. I don't really care. It was completed when I read it, and it was really, really good. So, what did I like about my prince, and what is my prince? Okay, well, my prince is, as I said, this Klance fanfiction, where this Keith from an alternate reality, who's an Altean, comes into the mainstream Voltron reality and basically meets up with our regular Lance Sharpshooter Paladin. We love him. Right, to also go to Voltron because we do not know these characters, and Dreamworks and Netflix, and yeah. Anyway, yeah. So basically these two meet up and love ensues. It kind of bounces back and forth between flashbacks and even between the different worlds. Now, this is after Lance lost Keith, and I think it was meant to be like when Keith went away for Blade of Marmora, but instead he might have lost them, went to this alternate reality, blah, blah, blah. On that, it is somewhat confusing, but otherwise, the story is really, really good, and I do recommend it because I personally did enjoy it. It kind of had nice flashbacks, and it went to the present moment, and it talked about mourning and also many things like, how do I say this? How do I put this in my depiction? It's also talking about many things of what you can face when you are kind of mourning. It's being given a second chance at something and taking it by the reins and going off and living your life, doing you, It is really, really a good fan fiction, and I do really recommend it to all of y'all. I enjoy it so much. It was good, and it does have its funny moments. It does have its angsty moments. It does have its really, really good moments. And it is a good blend for a fanfiction. It's not all fluff. It's not all angst. It's not all smut. It's not all this. It's not all that. It's really, really a mix of everything that creates a good story. And, that is what gets me for any story. When I look for a fanfiction, I look for relatable, I look for real life, I look for, something that is real. It's not all angsty. Okay, it's not all teenage angst, but it's not all fluffy with rainbows and balloons and that happiness, okay? I mean, the book can still be good, being a relatively light book with mostly fluff. But I feel like fluff in this world doesn't mean that, problems don't arise, things don't happen. For me, it really means, to me, this is just my interpretation of fluff. It kind of means that, problems arise, but you always rise to the occasion to solve them, face them, and they're not too crazy. I feel like fluff is maybe that type of thing that you somewhat want in, I don't know, like a cafe, AU, or maybe even any coming of age AU in certain spots. But I'm not all for all fluff, all angst, just because all fluff is way too happy. All angst is way too sad. For at least me and other people I know, other fanfic readers, and just readers in general, we all know that there has to be a good mix to make a good story. And a fluff story, I'll probably always read one after a super angsty story. Because super angsty stories really do need fluff in them at some point, but it just gets really, really sad, and there's like major character death. And I mean, I love the angsty stories for life, okay? I do. I love the super depressing ones. They're really good. They are. When it's well written, I will read it. I'm not lying. But if it's a lot, I'm going to tell you that I'm probably going to read fluff for maybe the next 3 weeks, next whole entire month, depending on just how angsty that one story was. And I mean, there are some books that it's just like, you can only read a chapter a month. I know that sounds crazy, but like angst stories, be careful because they will break your heart. Really angsty stories. They can. But this story isn't too angsty. It's not too fluffy. It's a really good mix of both categories. It kind of gives you that coming of age feel as well to, you get a second shot and you gotta go for it, It gives you these romantic vibes, and it also gives you these really, like, childhood nostalgia in some way vibes, and it's really nice. It also goes in depth for more of the lore around quintessence with Keith as well, because in this one he is primarily Altean. There is some Altean lands, and if you like a good Altean lands then you will probably like this book. It's available on Wattpad. Yes, it's being revised, but I would still advise and, tell you, go check it out, because it really is a good book. And whenever it's revised, it may and probably will be better. And hey, if it gets continued on, that'll be great. I'll go back and start reading it if it gets continued. If it doesn't, the ending's amazing anyway. So I hope that was a good enough, analysis. Not really analysis, but short overview for all of y'all. And that's just the book of fanfic I am suggesting for y'all today. Anyway, let's get into the shoutouts. Okay, so it's time for shoutouts. Our first shoutout is going to Andrew Rose. Aiden Rose. Oh, sorry. His little star. I love this so much. I'm so glad to see people still uploading Klance videos in 2021. Hey, the fandom will always live on. Long live Klance. Okay, next shoutouts are going to Izzle Body. I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. I hope to see more of this because I love it See what I did there? XTXTXP. Yes, I did. And hope love. Very funny. Your voice sounds so familiar. I bet I heard it somewhere. TikTok? Maybe not on TikTok, but I did have an account that was somewhat like TikTok. I think it was like Live Me or something, or it's also go to them, but it might have been something. You might have heard my voice somewhere. But anyway, thank you so much for the nice comment, Gold Star. Another one goes to Ash Vientre. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but they say hi, and I said hi back. Because, hi. Good morning. It's always so nice to see your comments. Another goes to Rosen Sumbla, who says, yeah, definitely Lance will be the dominant one in this relationship. And yes, I do ship them. Shame there are Klance when they should be. Well, honestly, because you kind of said that, I do really, really see Lance actually being the one who could be dominant. In my opinion, it all depends on the writing. You really can convince me. You can convince people to believe anything with good writing, wording, speeching. I mean, that's just how the world works. So I wrote fics where it's either way, and I've got to say, I've enjoyed them all because I'm really picky and I always get good fics. But yeah, thanks for commenting. Okay, so one very important shout out goes to Karn Kuhn. He says, who's had millions of comments this week, but these are just some of the ones I'm highlighting. I love the way you read these. Putting your own spin on the dialogue is funny and adorable to listen to. I've been sucked back into Klance lately, though I've never really left. So any new content is a blessing, XT. Aww, thanks. And I personally do think that is a thing that I do that maybe not all comic devers do. I really do my best to actually interpret the comment and just say everything that's there, because I feel like that is boring, and you gotta give the comment a little more than the comic itself. You have to give it a little more than it says. Give it more, because the artist saw more, even though these words are only being put here. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, last but not least, a very, very special shout out goes to Malin Hagiv. I really hope I just said that right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. But anyway, they did put up tons and tons of comments this week. This is just one of my favorites I saw. And I'm not going to read all of this, but I am going to read most of it. Just love your videos. Don't ever dare to stop making them, because when I have a bad day, I look at your videos and it makes me feel so much better. So don't you ever dare stop. Ever stop. You are making my day so often, and so I hope that this comic could make you just smile a little, because I love you and want you to be, I believe that meant to be happy. Hope I could make you just smile a little, or else I have failed. But I love you. And you did definitely succeed. I guess I read all of it. I really love this comment anyway. Just because I totally do relate to having totally terrible days or bad days, or just horrible days, and days like you just want to like literally toss it in, scream in the pillow, and cry. And I go to my favorite fandoming channels, my favorite edit channels, and I I look at the edits. I listen to comic dubs. You know, I have to be honest. Before quarantine started in 2020, I wasn't in the best place in life, and I mean, for me, I was kind of just falling into a really bad state. So, just being so insecure about life in school, having those little edits, those little videos, those little comic dubs, they always help me reassociate so much. So this comment does really mean so much to me, because I do know what it's like to be on the other end of things, having a terrible day or even just an okay day or a great day, and just coming onto YouTube and to see some of your favorite creators all post on our channels. So, with that being said, that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed my book review and my fanfic review and shoutouts, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, all of our friends out there. Welcome back to the Love Show. Now, for today, on Friday, this day, awkwardness ensues.